The imagination of going to the UK when I was 10, it was much higher than what the reality I found myself in the UK. So as soon as I stepped foot in the UK, I wanted to come back. That was hell. If I had a magic wand, I would have came back.
Ghana, a nation celebrated for its rich culture and vibrant landscape, is grappling with an escalating crisis: plastic pollution. With approximately 1.1 million tons of plastic waste generated annually, only about 5% is recycled. The rest accumulates in the streets, beaches, and water bodies, posing severe environmental and health risk.
Our blue planet is facing one of the biggest threats in human history. Trillions of pieces of plastic are choking the very lifeblood of our Earth.
But amidst these mounting challenges, one man has returned to his roots with a mission to transform waste into wealth. Every day, over 3,000 metric tons of plastic waste are produced in Ghana. The majority of it end up polluting the environment, affecting both land and marine ecosystem. What can be done to reverse this tide of pollution? Various initiatives have sprung up to tackle the plastic menace. Yet, challenges persist. Meet Joe, who moved from Ghana to the UK at the age of 10 and spent 3 decades abroad. Witnessing Ghana's escalating plastic crisis afar, he felt an undeniable pull to return and make a difference. But how does one man's vision translate into tangible change? With determination and support, Joe established a recycling plant right here in Ghana, a state-of-the-art facility aimed at processing plastic waste into reusable materials. What impact has this initiative had on the community and its environment? So Joe grew up in the eastern region of Ghana, Oda. Growing up, he was a very happy kid, playing around all the time. He was brought up by his grandmother. He's always happy playing around with friends and being happy, until he got the opportunity to travel to the UK when he was 10 years old. His mom came for him and granted him the opportunity to educate himself in the UK.
Okay, my upbringing in Ghana from age 0 to 10 was very happy childhood. We lived in the eastern region, Swedro, near Oda. And it was a very happy childhood, normal childhood. A lot of freedom, running wild, climbing trees, swimming in rivers, doing crazy things, just venturing out into anything that you see fit. So my grandmother raised me to the age of 10. My mother wasn't around. That time she was in the UK. And I always thought my grandmother was my mother. I didn't until later I found out that, oh, your mother's actually in the UK. The imagination of going to the UK when I was 10, it was much higher than what the reality I found myself in the UK. So as soon as I stepped foot in the UK, I wanted to come back. That was hell. If I had a magic wand, I would have came back.
He barely spoke English when he got to the UK, but he didn't give up. He persevered.
One of the key things is that I couldn't speak English. Maybe I still can't, but but I couldn't speak English. I would reply in Chi. Sometimes when the kids were being nasty to me, like, so or especially when I sense that they are, cursing me or dissing me, I'll diss them back in Chi. One thing I was good at school was maths. I was okay with that, but anything was I struggled a little bit till I was 14 when I could, speak English properly and, understand and read. So yeah, even I couldn't read when I went to the UK.
Really?
I couldn't read. Wow. So my mother beat me to read.
Wow. He then decided to visit Ghana after spending 7 years in the UK. He always has been dreaming of relocating back to Ghana. He then set up a company here in Ghana at the age of 17 when he visited. He had a company where he was recruiting workers for some big tech companies in the UK.
Since I left at that time, I've always been thinking about Ghana because just the lifestyle, to me was the best. So it wasn't something that I didn't see myself, living for the rest of my life in the UK.
I see.
Yeah, just the sunshine alone is everything for me, right? So, and it's even as in a conversation my wife and I, we keep having, where would you like to live? Me, it's Ghana all the way. Okay. I set up the company 2014. Okay. By 2016 when I started hiring people in Ghana to help me with the recruitment agency. Right. And I built that company to about 22 people at one time. So part of it was recruitment and part of it was outsourcing.
Right.
So we were managing advertising budget for certain companies for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that business was very profitable, and what it has allowed me to do this factory and do all these other projects that I'm involved in.
When he went back to the UK, he worked for so many different companies, including Google, but he felt he could always do more.
I schooled in the UK, worked in the UK within digital advertising, worked for companies like Google, Essence, which is a media agency that manages Google's advertising, worked for LinkedIn as well. So 2014, I started a recruitment company in the UK, and then I started to hire people here in Ghana as virtual assistants, assisting me with the hiring process, sourcing of candidates. So that meant since 2016, I had to be constantly coming to Ghana, seeing the team, checking on their progress, training, all that kind of stuff.
So after some years, he got a light bulb moment when he bought a house in Ghana, and closer to his house, there was a recycling plant, recycling waste plastics.
I bought a house, my wife and I, we bought a house at Kokrobiti, and we happened to have, there's a plastic recycling factory that was starting up. We saw it from it being built from the ground up. And so it cast my mind back. So I started talking to the workers. I started just asking them questions. Oh, you know, who are you guys sourcing the material? Where do you get the machine from? What workers do you need? You know, how much money can you make? Where can you know, what is the recycling process like? So just asking questions, learning, and through that, that's when I decided to take the deep, leap of faith and just get into the business.
He believes it's possible to make it here in Ghana, and there's a lot of money here in Ghana to be made. Ghana has always stand out for him, even after being in the UK. He believes there's a better lifestyle here in Ghana for him than the UK.
It's definitely possible to have a successful business in Ghana. If you drive around, walk around, you see a lot that is happening. You see great things. You see buildings being put up, construction going on. You see people in nice cars. So if you're saying that there are no opportunities or no chances to make money in Ghana, then that is not correct, because otherwise what would the Chinese be doing here in Ghana? What would the Lebanese be doing here in Ghana? What would the Indians be doing here in Ghana? So it's obvious that there is money in Ghana.
He then advises people like himself who want to relocate from the UK to Ghana. He's on a journey of turning waste into wealth, and the journey of hopefully becoming a millionaire here in Ghana.
How did this start?
Okay, it started, that's a good question. How did it start? Okay, it started back in 2021. That's when I actually started to build this factory. And I got the idea in 2019 when I saw another plastic recycling company springing up where I lived at Kokrobiti. And that kind of that inspired me to really research that industry and get involved. So, and then I started to pay attention, because obviously plastic waste is a problem globally, and especially in Ghana, you see it all over the place, whether it's on the streets, in the gutters, in waters. So I saw that it's a chance to make money, but at the same time add value to the environment.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So 2021, you started this factory.
Yeah, 2021, yeah.
Do you have an idea how many plastic is brought to you every day, and how many you do recycle, even on a daily basis or even on a monthly basis? Do you have an idea?
Okay, that is going to change drastically, because when I started in 2021, the amount of challenges that we were having was immense.
Right.
Because like I said, when it comes to this kind of business, you need constant, reliable power. And when I spent money to get about 3 poles, buy 3 electric posts and bring power here, one of the challenges that we were having is that the power within the area wasn't enough to melt the plastic. So we had a lot of low currents. So the amount of production, let's say we're supposed to be doing 1 ton,
right?
We're getting like maybe a quarter of that, right? So it wasn't substantial. So we just recently, like last year, September, we got a transformer completed. So right over there. So
so your
now
output is bigger now.
The output is bigger, and it's about to be bigger because our new machine just came from China.
Okay.
And we just installed it. So we need to just do a few more iterations in terms of the process, in terms of the setup, so that we can get going and actually know. So with this new machine, we can potentially do maybe 3 tons a day.
3 tons?
Yeah.
Okay, of recycling a day.
That's 24 hours, yeah.
Meaning turning the waste plastic into the
plastic
pellets.
the pellets, yeah,
3
exactly.
tons. That's
About
incredible.
3 tons, yeah.
Can you show me around? Because
Yeah,
you were
sure.
telling me that there was just brought in this morning.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there. Yes, and this one. Some of that.
Okay, so can you tell me the process? So they bring in
Yeah,
plastics?
So they collect it
Okay.
in the streets, in gutters. They bag it up, they bring it, we scale it, we pay them
Okay.
for their work, and then we start by washing it. We have a washing line
Okay.
over there which we'll go to and I'll show you.
Okay.
It's not currently in operation because we had to pause to be able to fix certain things within the process to make it a little bit more streamlined.
Okay.
So yeah, this came in fresh today,
Okay.
and yeah, we will process it
Okay.
as soon as we get done with the older ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are old, and this is the new ones.
Yeah, this one came first and this one came
Okay.
last, and then these ones are much older.
Much
It's been
older.
sitting in the sun, so it's kind of been ripping up.
Okay, but does it
Tearing
expire? Does it have?
No,
an
it doesn't. It doesn't expire.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it doesn't expire. You just need to get it out of the sun as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it gets extra dry and
Extra
yeah.
Okay. So you take it from here, you take it to that machine there,
Yeah.
and you wash it.
We wash it. The material, as I mentioned, when it comes in, the first thing we do is to wash it.
Okay.
Make sure it's clean. There's no sand, mud and all that kind. Get rid of all that.
If there's sand, what happens? If there's sand.
Well, if there's sand and it goes into the machine, obviously the machine has a mesh that would take some of the sand away. But that means if it's too much sand, you're putting too much work for
Pressure on
the
the
machine to do. And if some do get into the material, when you start to manufacture and use it to make the plastic bags, the quality is not going to be great. You might have sealing problems and it being punctured. So yeah, just the quality. You want to make sure that it's free of sand and dirt and all that kind of stuff.
So
Yes.
all this used to be on the streets and on the
Yeah.
beaches.
Yeah, streets, exactly. Some of them are company waste that they will probably throw about. We get them, we go there and collect it, or they bring it.
Okay.
So yes.
So not
But
only
the
the streets,
majority-
but the companies also bring their
Yes, some
quote
some-
unquote their baller or rubbish to you.
Yeah, the plastic.
The plastic part of it.
Actually, we've been there to actually take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
to collect it. Exactly.
Okay. And then when you do,
But the
you
majority
bring
of our waste comes from the streets.
the street.
Yeah.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
I saw how many metric tons of waste are on the street, and it was very astronomical. And you are helping reduce that drastically. by you doing
Yeah, I
this.
mean, globally, if you think about it, 350 million tons of plastic being produced,
Every
and
day.
and less than 10% of it is actually being recycled. That is crazy.
So where did the rest go?
Well,
the oceans?
Oceans, yeah. I think I read it. Yeah, it's crazy number goes to the ocean. I think about 1-2 tons of plastic end up in the ocean.
Interesting. And Ghana, it's even worse here. Oh, you can't even swim in our oceans here.
Yeah.
It's too much. If it's not plastic,
Yes.
it's something else. Okay, so this is one of the plants that does the washing.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a washing line right here. So we feed it from the station right here,
Okay.
right? And it goes through the water. So we go to rotators coming through, passing through, all the way. So once it's been washed and cleaned, it gets into this dryer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So normally once we have kind of washed it, you get it looking like,
I see.
exactly. So
And so they all goes into here.
yeah,
You carry them and you put them into these bags.
yeah. So Okay, before we used to dry it in the sun, but now we have a dryer now,
Oh, okay.
right? So this will blow into the basket, and we take it from the basket and put it straight into the recycling machine.
Okay.
Into pelletizer.
So this is the machine that turns them into that small particles of pellets.
Exactly that.
Incredible.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a two-stage machine. Like I said, when we ordered it in China, it came back with some of the parts missing. It wasn't
Really?
complete. So
They didn't
these are
take
the
it off, or they
challenges.
didn't add it to it.
Well, when I spoke to the guy who ordered the Chinese guy, he's saying, "Nah, that's not part of it." And I'm like, "But it's needed. So why didn't you tell me so that you can add it for me?"
Right.
You get so yeah, just a pain in the back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
So that's why we are not fully. I'm actually waiting to buy a drive. Get my hands on a drive. And these are some of the challenges you get. Sometimes now I don't have the drive. A guy, the engineer who came to fix this machine, said he has a drive. And so he says, okay, because I calculate how much it will cost
What
me
is the
for me
drive?
The drive is it's basically a control panel that
Okay.
will change the speed. You can control the speed of how quickly the plastic is coming out of this machine.
The output.
Yeah, the output. And this has a drive, but also this one needs a drive. So if you cannot control this, it's going to bring pressure. And the pressure it's bringing is a lot. That's why it's appearing,
On the edges.
yeah, it's seeping through because the pressure is too much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not supposed to look this dirty. Right, but look at this, see? Everything's neat there.
Right.
But look at this one, it's like, it
I
doesn't have a
see.
drive, so it's coming through like wherever. Yeah,
It's
not supposed to,
uncontrolled.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Interesting.
uncontrolled.
Okay. So you turn them into pellets, and then
Yeah,
I see
we
you have
turn
a
to
factory. You are
pellets.
producing rubber bags.
Rubber bags, exactly.
Now,
take
I want
away
to
that.
ask you though. You are recycling. You take these rubbers from the street.
Yeah.
You wash them. You recycle them. You turn them into pellets, and you are producing rubber bags again, and then they end up on the street. Now, I don't get it. Explain it to me. How does that work?
Okay. Well, if you are not recycling, that means you have to spend resources to, use natural resources to make new plastic. So that means you get more and more pollution in the system. It's much better to reuse it rather than make new ones and add more wood to the fire,
I see. Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain the science bit of it. What is the
Yeah.
difference of the if I recycle and use it? Does it help environmental wise compared to scratch? Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. When you making plastic products from raw materials,
Yeah.
you are emitting more emissions than you would to recycle. So that one cuts it down drastically. Drastically.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you think it's? I mean, look at Rwanda, right? In Rwanda, they decided to ban plastic altogether, and they went straight to
Paper.
using paper.
Yeah.
Do you think something like that is even possible in the future?
Here in Ghana, ooh, that's very hard to. One of those questions where my uncle posed to me, "Are you sure, Ghana will not put a ban on recycling, and then you lose your money, and then it was one of those bets that I had to make. But I thought that, I'm just logically thinking, okay, the UK hasn't even stopped using plastic. How much more Ghana? But so I'm just thinking, and we were colonized by the UK. So I'm thinking, since we were colonized, the UK is using plastic. We're still going to use plastic for a little while. It's a bet.
Yeah.
Maybe an educated bet, but
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. What do you seek to achieve with
Yeah.
this whole project and trying to solve this problem?
Okay. What I'm seeking to achieve is to bring in employment. Obviously, in as much I want to make money for myself, but then again, how much money can you eat? I mean, how much can you eat at the end of the day, right? So I'm passionate about bringing opportunities to other people. If I can bring work to my fellow Ghanaians, it's a blessing because I've already been involved in another business that resulted in me employing 22 people. It felt amazing. And if I can have the opportunity to do the same thing here. Right now we have about 10. And I think within next 3 months will probably be at least 30.
30.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Once we get the process started. Yeah.
You're expanding.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the biggest lessons you learned through the journey
Yeah.
of trying to establish this
Oh.
factory?
Okay, one of the get the right people to help you, but then again, you have to take that with a pinch of salt, because how do you actually know who the right person is? So you have to kind of maybe talk to a larger pool of people. You have to talk to a larger pool of people and try and ascertain who you feel would be the right person to help you.
I see.
Just ask more questions and then take your time. So some of the lessons I've learned here, if I was to do everything all over again, I wouldn't do it this location. I would do it in my other location, which is closer to town. And I think that one would be easier to also hire people because it's just by the roadside. So if I was to put, looking for workers, it's much easier for people to see. That's one. And also the power there is, if I was to get my own transformer, I wouldn't have to purchase 7 poles. If you add the other 3 poles, that's what, 10, right? So I would have made a significant amount of savings. I'll be closer in town. And, you have to be careful on who you trust as well. That is, the people thing is what is very, very challenging. Like right now, my house is actually at Kokrobiti, but because of the business, I'm on the ground. So I stay here 6 days a week. I sleep here, I eat here, I shower here, everything.
Interesting.
So that I can monitor it, because a lot of investment I've gone into it. So I need to make sure that the goals are achieved.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you're not here, something will
Yeah, if you're not here, then it's going to be mismanaged.
mismanage.
It's going to be, it's like you're dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like you're dead there. My uncle said, he said in the tree, he says, "Fanise wewu." So, who knew wewu?
So this is the factory. You are manufacturing the rubber
Plastic,
bag.
Yeah, rubber bag. We
Okay.
manufacture plastic bags. And before we started manufacturing plastic bags, we used to just turn the plastic waste into pellets. And we would sell it on to other factories that would then turn that into plastic bags, takeaway bags. And the challenges that we're having with that was they would, most of the time, dictate to us
How
the
much
price
they want to buy.
pay for it, right? And and most of them, they are foreigners, Chinese, Lebanese, and that kind of made me mad a little bit, because sometimes you agree with them over the phone how much, maybe it's 10 cedis per kilo. When you get to the factory, you're trying to get down to 9 cedis or something. Yeah, so it became very frustrating that no, I need to do it end to end. So that's what made me want to
Start producing.
start manufacturing from end to end.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so share us what's going on here.
So once we have turned the plastic waste into pellets,
Yeah.
it will go into, and that's the recycle machine we showed you outside. Exactly. And then the next process is turned into rolls. So as you can see, this is the extruder machine,
Yeah.
turning the pellets into rolls. And once we have the rolls, we move them to the cutting machine. That's the red machine right there. And that will chop it up into the takeaway bag. Yeah.
And then you bag them.
Yeah, and then we bag them, we package them to be taken into the market or for order. Some of my customers will come and order, okay, I want this, I want that, and then we'll do the order for them.
I see. So all these machines were imported.
All was imported. Unfortunately, it would have been fortunate for us to have it in Ghana.
But we don't produce anything.
We don't produce anything. And that's one of the sad things. That's how we don't produce anything. Everything we have to rely on foreigners to make it. Hopefully, maybe one day that will change. But yeah, so that the money can stay here in Ghana. Because from going to China, not much money leaves their country. Everything stays in China. That's one thing I realized. They hire their own. The amount of foreigners that work there is very, very, very minuscule. From the cleaners to the president is Chinese. Even when they are loading the container, people loading the container is Chinese. I didn't see no black people loading containers. Everything is done by the Chinese. So even the labor work is done by the Chinese. So it's not like the UK where an African can go there and do labor work and get money. I didn't see that in China.
Interesting.
Which means everything stays there. So Ghana and the Chinese come here and make more money and take it back to their country. So I see Ghana as like we are bleeding a little bit.
Yeah. Wow.
My name is Kwabena Peter Emmanuel. I'm from Ashanti. I'm the supervisor of Adom Company Limited. I started this way back 2013, so it's been 12 years now. Our objective is to keep the environment clean by gathering those sachets, rubbers, and other recycling products in order to recycle them and use them to make other products for customers. Yeah. Being 13 years of working experience, I've faced a lot of challenges operating the machines. When we are operating the machines, at times you may be injured. Yeah. And at times too, you have to apply certain qualities and knowledge because day in and day out there are new machines coming in.
So you have to learn.
So
keep
you have
learning.
to learn more. Yes.
Okay.
If you are not a learner, then my friend, you can't work.
I like that.
Day in, day out, there's new machines coming in. So you have to work and improve your knowledge and advance your experience. Without that, you won't go far.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like working, you are almost overlooking the rest of the employees.
Yeah.
Now, how is it working with the team and managing them, just so you get, to the goal?
Okay. 12 years to date. I've worked under a lot of companies, but frankly speaking, this company, I think, for sure, this might be my last company.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I love working with my boss. He's a very good man, kind-hearted man, honest, discipline, humility, yes. And that's our logo. Yeah. You have to follow it.
That.
Discipline, honesty, and humility.
Humility.
Yes. Because if you want to achieve, you have to at least
follow this principle.
Follow this principle. You can't miss one. It's like your organs.
Really?
Yeah.
They can't function without each other.
They can't function without each other.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you want to become a successful plastic engineer or operator, you have to follow all these principles. If you are disciplined, you won't get hurt when it comes to the machine side. And if you are honest, people will love to work with you, and customers too will love to work with you. Yeah. And back to your question again. You said
working with the team.
Working with the team.
Managing them.
How's managing them.
Because we know that's one of the biggest problems here in Ghana.
Yes, it's managing people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I can say that as for this team, I have a fantastic team. They are cooperative. They do listen to what I have to offer them. And me too, I listen to them. Because we listen to each other. We are a team. We are like a football team. We always assist each other when someone is in need. Not in financial terms, but when it comes to the work, at least we have gained a lot of experience. So I pass on my little experience that I gained to them. And they too, I don't know. They are open up to learn new things. Yeah. But as for working with them, they are loving and they are kind, they are respectful. At least you have one or two, stubborn workers. But it's part of it, yeah. You have one or two stubborn workers, but I have to cope with them.
Right.
Yeah. I have to make sure that what they want, I will do for them, and what I want to, they will do. For you. Yeah, that's it. Like that. And we are good to go.
I like that. If you have any final message to the world, about the plastic pollution and, that bit of it, what would that message be?
My message will be short. Yeah, we should stop polluting our environment with plastic waste, but rather we should encourage the recycling sectors to always use those materials, to collect those materials from our areas. Yeah, because it's at the same time we are keeping the environment clean to prevent diseases. Yeah, mosquitoes, cholera. We are keeping the environment clean. It's not based on what we are gaining, but rather we are also serving the community or the country. We are keeping the country clean because those people gathering these things, bringing them here for us to give them penny. It's not that their main focus is about the money, but their main focus is, or their objective is
To keep
the
the
environment clean. Yes,
I
that's
like
it.
that.
Yeah. And me too, I'm encouraging them to always continue to gather all this rubbish and bring it to us, and we will also recycle it and give it out as a new product for them, and they will love it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Thank you so much.
you are welcome.
Awesome. Well, that's a good one. Hello. Can you please introduce yourself, your name and what you're doing here in this company?
Okay, my name is escalating, and I'm from Kobite.
Are you a local?
Yes.
Also, Kokobete is like your hometown?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been working here?
Oh, 1 week.
1 week? Oh, you're new?
Yes.
What's your experience working so far? Being a woman and now you're working in the factory recycling plastic. How's your experience so far?
It's not hard, but life, you have to focus on life. Because if you don't focus, how will you make it? You'll never make it. So when you wake up in the morning, you find a job. After the job, you'll be like, if somebody says something to you, you have to be like, respect it.
Respect, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's also my own.
How old are you?
24 years.
24 years old. Okay, awesome. Okay, if you have any, I mean, you are working, you're hard working as a woman. Modern day people, some women wouldn't like to do what you're doing, right?
Okay.
So if you have any words of inspiration to young women like yourself, what would that message be?
If it was me, I'll work because I want to achieve my dreams. So I'll work hard, get money hard, and go for it. That's all.
So if you do have any final messages to the people watching, your fellow people in the UK who are deciding to relocate, people who have relocated, came to Ghana, like you said, you can lose a lot of your investment, went back and thinking that it's not possible to make it here, or even people coming for the first time from the US and other countries, what would be a message to these people, final message?
Okay, final message, like similar to what I said. It's good thing that you want to do, but like I said, just before you do that, make sure you are well prepared. Start coming. If you've never been to Ghana, or maybe you lived in Ghana, because sometimes maybe your parents, you were born in the UK, you've never been to Ghana before. Start coming here, have a holiday, come and really experience what it's like going to different regions in Ghana. And the thing that you are interested in is just start to research it. Don't rush. Interview people, talk to people, and just get a feel. Get a feel for the people who are advising you before you really start spending money. And just make sure also you have some money saved, or a business that is able to keep you your living expenses covered, so that you are, you don't feel like you need to rush back to the UK to go and make more money, because that does happen to
Really?
Yeah, to people. I've heard the stories. I've heard many stories. People just moving back because they wasn't well prepared. Didn't have, because sometimes you might think the thing might cost you 10 CDs, but it might end up costing you 20 CDs. That's 100%. do you understand? So if you are coming here with £50,000 or $50,000, and then you realize you need to get double times two, then you are
Yeah, you can't survive.
you can't survive. So just come here, don't rush, research, talk to people, and just slowly ease your way in. Yeah.
What did you wish you knew before relocating to Ghana?
Relocating to Ghana, what I wish I knew. I think, is it mainly to do with recycling or
Business and operations.
business and operations?
Or it could be general.
Okay. Well, let me just focus on recycling. What I wish I knew was the importance of electricity. The just getting reliable power consistently every day. If I knew that, or had someone to really advise me, now I've got better people to advise me, but it's too late. I have to make it work where I am. But I have other plots closer in town that I would have maybe started off with that one. Yeah, knowing what I know now.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years is to producing hopefully 20,000 bags of, maybe 20,000 bags of you know, bags, 20,000 bundles of bags.
Bundles of bags.
Yeah.
How much is one bundle?
Right now, it's facilitates ranges from 110 Ghana cedis to 115
Per the bundle?
Yeah, bundle, yeah.
Okay. And you want to produce how many?
20,000.
20,000
Yeah.
a month?
A month.
A month. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How do people find you?
Okay, they can find me on, I have a channel called Jaman. So they can find
So
me
on
there.
YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your emails and your telephone numbers?
Okay, I also have an email. My email is Joe.agyeman@gmail.com. So Joe.agyeman @gmail.com. There's no G at the end. I don't.
Okay. And you have a telephone number you want to put on the air? For people to
Okay,
call you?
maybe I'll give you one to put on air.
Okay. So I'll put it on the screen.
I don't have.
Offered.
I don't know that one particular
Yeah.
offered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put every details on the screen and also in
Yeah.
the description.
Yeah.
Feel free to reach out to him, even for consultation. Are you willing to help people understand what it is like to live and operate a business here in Ghana?
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, one of my also back end goals, as opposed to doing the plastic recycling myself, is to get to a point where I can also help someone who's going to start that business.
Oh, okay. The same recycling
business. But I have people approach me, but I don't want to do it right now because I want to get to a level where I feel like, yes, I've mastered it before I can start, you know, maybe helping other people. So
Okay.
that's more, but it's a goal at the back of my mind that I want to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Nice one.
All right. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. Guys, please make sure you like the video. YouTube is saying over 70% of you guys watching have not subscribed. I don't understand why. Please subscribe, or you might not see this episode. You might not see my videos anymore. So subscribe. Comment down below. Let's get the engagement going. Share to friends and family so they also benefit from this episode. And yeah, without further ado, let's just say bye-bye to the people watching.
Take care.
All right.
Thanks
peace.
for watching. Subscribe.